Hey everyone, Josh from House Guitars, and if you are new to playing guitar or you just want to get into doing some of your own guitar work, the most basic operation that you come to besides cleaning your guitar is going to be restringing your guitar. And whether you broke a guitar string or your strings are just starting to sound really dull, maybe you're having a hard time tuning, or you just haven't changed your strings for months, it may be time to change your strings. And you can take your guitar to the music store and they may charge you 20 or 30 bucks to do that, but it's a super simple operation. It requires just a few tools and you can easily do it yourself in 10 to 15 minutes. So at my shop, this is something I do on a daily basis, but I'm here at home and I'm just going to show you how you can do this. You really don't need much. You need a flat work surface like this table I've got here. You need a towel or something to put on your guitar that's soft just to protect the finish. You need something to support the guitar neck. I have this neat little neck rest because this is something I'm doing all the time. But if you don't have one of these, you could easily use a pillow or some more rolled up towels. The tools are pretty straightforward. I always recommend a pair of safety glasses. You're working with thin wires. Occasionally they break. Always a good precaution. You will need a string winder. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can get a little plastic string winder like this at your music store for a couple bucks. And it's got a neat little notch in the end here, which I'll show you how to use to get your bridge pins out. The only thing I don't like about these plastic string winders is that when you go to use them on the guitar tuning peg, if you're not careful, the plastic edges can scratch your headstock. If you're going to do this all the time, you can often spend a little more money and buy one that's rubber. This one also has some bearings in it. It's just a little nicer to use. You'll also need a set of wire cutters and a tuner for when you're done. Besides that, you'll also need a new set of guitar strings. Now, in most cases, you should just be replacing your strings with the same strings that you have on there now. If you're not sure how to choose your guitar strings, subscribe to my channel and you'll find another video coming soon that talks about how to select guitar strings. In this case, I am using a John Pierce Phosphor Bronze light gauge set, which is my personal preference, and since this is my personal guitar, that's what I'm going to be using for this video. For this video, I'm going to be demonstrating the usual method I use of changing the strings, which is to change them one at a time. Unless you need to do some other cleaning or maintenance, there's really no need to take all the strings off at once. So we're going to start with the low E string. Take your string winder, placing it on the peg, and give it a few rotations to the right. This will loosen the string. Once you see the string starting to come off the windings there, you can pull it up a bit, and just by wiggling it back and forth, it should come out of the string hole fairly easily. Some of these bigger strings, the windings can get caught, but that's all there is to it. Now, I know a lot of people on YouTube who show changing guitar strings, they like to loosen it off and snip the string, but really there's no point in cutting the string. That just leaves you with two pieces of string, something else that you could drop on the floor and step on, or you're more likely to stab your finger with. But just loosen the string and then remove it from the string post. With the string loose, we can then come down to the bridge. The bridge is the wooden piece here. This piece of bone is known as the saddle, and these are the bridge pins. And the bridge pins are removable, and that's where this little notch in your plastic string winder comes in. You simply slide it under the back of the bridge pin, pry up slightly just to loosen it, and there you have it. You can remove the string. So I have opened my pack of guitar strings, and I have found the equivalent string. This is the low E, and so I am going to go ahead and just do the reverse operation of the string I just removed. Now, you see on the string I just removed, it is curved, obviously, from being bent over the saddle, and on the ends of each of these strings is a ball. These are called ball end strings. And what you want is that ball to pull up along the bridge pin and kind of lock in along the top of the guitar. So when you get your new string, it's nice and straight like this. What I like to do is just give it a little bend. You don't want to bend it too much or you could break the string and it will no longer hold. But I just give it a little bend, insert it into the hole so that the ball can ride up on the bridge pin. So I push down on the bridge pin and keep a little tension on the string, and it should lock into place. And there we have it. String is nice and tight. Okay, so we have our new string that we're ready to install here. And so what I like to do is take my string winder and I move the post so that the string is more, or the string hole in the post is more or less in line with the way the string's going to pull through. Now, there's all sorts of fancy ways to tie your strings or loop them around. Most of those, in my opinion, are unnecessary. What I'm going to do is a simple wind where the first time around the string is going to loop over the extra string and then the remaining winds will go underneath. And what that will do is to pinch the end of the string between the windings. Now you only need 2 or 3 times around the post to get everything to stay in place. There's no reason to have more winding around that. There's no reason to wind the whole string onto the post. That's just going to cause a mess. So I generally pull the string through tight and then I back it off to about what I figure it's going to take to get the string around the post, about 2 times. And then holding that in place, I start to wind. Now, as I said, the first winding is going over top of the extra string. And then as that extra string comes around, I'm going to bend it up so that it's out of the way, make sure it's not poking you in the face, and the remaining windings will go underneath. And then what I can do is I can either hold it down at the 5th fret, or I can use the harmonic. And there we have it. We've successfully changed our low E string. Now the operation for the rest of the strings is exactly the same, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I should say before I move on, I generally like to clip those string ends off just so they're not poking me in the face. When you're working around the headstock, you do want to be careful of the string ends, as you can easily poke your fingers, but as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, that shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so just after I told everyone to be careful, see that there? Blood, poked myself. Alright, so once you have got all the new strings on, the only thing left to do then is to tune your guitar. And the thing you need to know is that when you put new strings on your guitar, if it's a steel string acoustic or an electric guitar or a classical guitar, new strings need some time to stretch, and so you're going to find yourself tuning your guitar a little more regularly for the first few days while your strings settle in. Now if you want to speed that process up a little bit, you can take a hold of your string and just tug on it just a little. Not much, because you can snap it, but if you just pull on your guitar strings a little bit, that will stretch them out and help speed up that break-in process. So you'll have to go back and tune your string again after you do that, but it's a way to speed that up. So hope you found this video helpful. Restringing your guitar is an easy operation. It can seem a little fiddly to get the hang of the strings and stuff as you're working around the headstock, but once you've done it 2 or 3 times, it's a 10-minute operation. that you can do at home with a few simple tools, and will keep your guitar sounding and playing great. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and take a look around there at some of the other videos I have on building guitars, maintenance and repair, as well as model overviews for some of the guitars I've built. Thanks for watching.